The Zach Ratliff Show is brought to you by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org.
Hello and welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. Glad to be with you. Glad you are with me. Thank God for a beautiful day. Thank God for another day. Thank God for another day in the greatest country he's ever put. Faith and serve. Well, let's jump into it. Let's jump into some of the fallout that we're seeing, and it happens quick. But I've got some points that some other people have made, and uh, you know, just want to kind of go over all that. So here we go. This is from DC Drano on X.com. He says they celebrated when a healthcare CEO was murdered in cold blood. They celebrated when Charlie Kirk was murdered in cold blood. They got upset when the bullet missed Donald Trump. They voted in Virginia for an attorney general who called for Republicans to be killed. They elected a jihadist communist as mayor of the largest city in America. Communism is here, and it's as murderous as it's always been. That's absolutely right. And here's what's amazing about that. When you look through history, everybody that supports, the communists, they're the first ones killed, right? The the softies, right? They're always the first ones killed. Why? Because they're not needed anymore. Once you know, uh, the the people in control don't need a bunch of revolutionaries throwing around crazy ideas that are opposed to them once they give them power. I mean, look at Russia. Look at Germany. Look at China. Look at everywhere. I mean, not that they're communists, but even look at Iran, right? Once the people that seek power get power, they don't want those around. We just need to be praying for our country. And I asked somebody this question yesterday. I said, "Is this the end of the Democrat Party or the end of the Republic?" And their response was, "The U.S. needs a two-party system. The Democrat Party will just become the Socialist Party." They didn't say anything about the Republic. And I think we can stand. We can't give in to whatever they're going to try to push. And look, Mandami's going to have, he's going to be able to do a lot in the city. We'll see, hopefully we'll just see what happens. Then there's this from Real Robert on X.com. They pulled a Katie Hobbs in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Ohio. Voting machines failed in GOP districts. Poll pads froze. Bomb threats shuttered precincts in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Ohio, and voters were blocked, all at the exact same moment. How's this for a free and fair election? It's the same tactics. It's always the same tactics. And then it's like, oh, we don't want voter intimidation. We don't want voter intimidation, but we'll call in bomb threats, but we'll shut down the machine. We'll do everything we can not to let you vote. And that's what they do every time. We shouldn't be surprised, but we have to start correcting our election system or we're going to continue. Once again, we were going to lose all these races anyway. In the best case scenario, we were going to lose everything we lost. I'm not overly upset about it. Um, you know, like your daddy probably told you, when you're digging a hole, you got to stop digging. These people hadn't stopped digging that live there. There's a mass exodus from New York now. Um, but it is what it is. So anyway, let's go on. And then this from Lozzie B, the Truth Fairy on X.com. Truth Fairy 131. It hasn't been, and they're showing a video with fires and all this, and I don't know. It says it hasn't even been 24 hours since anti-white, anti-American Muslim mayor was elected in New York. This is Muslims celebrating. Car has exploded. Firefighters have been injured. Muslims have also gone around New York pulling down American flags and burning them. They weren't just pulling down American flags, they were also pulling down the United Nations flag. This is what they voted for. This is what they get. Okay, you're free to vote for who you want, and this is what happened. This also, let this be a lesson is why we're not a democracy, right? Why we are a republic. You're about to see in New York. I think that's important to point out. It's just it's just amazing, really. So then Mandami in his speech the other night, he comes out and he says, this is from Citizens Free Press. He says, the government can solve every problem. Do what? The government can solve every problem? What a wild thing to say. What a wild stance to take. Compare that to Ronald Reagan saying the most terrifying words, or this quote from Ronald Reagan, the most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. How many of you are just thrilled with your experience every time you go renew your driver's license? Or you have to file your taxes because it's so easy? Or you have to call your representative and it's so easy to get through the switchboard? Or anything else the government touches? Look at how well our VA is run, right? Look, how many of you are thrilled with the service you get from the post office that's losing money? How many of you think every road that you drive down is in perfect, pristine condition? Right? How many of you love your police department? Which I do. And think there's no issues ever with the police, all right? Because that's the big thing. That's government, right? And I do love our police department, and even here locally, both of our sheriffs are amazing. Um, but there's still issues, right? How and it's because of government. It's because of bureaucracy. A lot of times, it's not even because of the people. It's because of the bureaucracy. How many of you love your Obamacare? How many of you are like, oh, Social Security, that's the way. That works so well. It operates so efficiently, right? I just can't wait to have to do this, this, and this that's under government control because it's so much easier than the private way. Nobody. If you think that, you're in the minority. So then for Mandami to come out and say, there's not a problem, our government can solve every problem. No, no, it cannot. I mean, what a crazy thing to say. I mean, that's wild. But that's the mindset. But we know, look, if you ever say, well, Zach's religion thinks this, my religion is Christianity based on the Bible. Okay. Full gospel. I believe what Jesus said. I believe what Paul wrote, what the boys wrote down. I believe that to be truth inspired by God. So if you say, well, the Bible, the NASB version of the Bible says this, okay, with context, yeah, I'm probably there. Okay. Now, when you look at Mendami, he's Islamic. Okay. Well, part of their deal is they're allowed to lie to people who aren't Islamic to gain power. I believe that's who he is because that's who his religion teaches him to be. I don't think that's a controversial statement, or it shouldn't be. But yeah, he's going to tell you everything's sunshine and rainbows. He's not, in his view of the world, he's not committing evil. He's doing what he needs to get you to elect him so that he can make things better for you. The means justify the ends. That's what we have to understand. He doesn't think he's doing wrong. As a matter of fact, he thinks he's helping you. And it's okay to lie to you to help you. It's a wild thought. We often don't look at it that way. But we have to get out of our box of thinking everyone thinks like us. I know everyone doesn't. Look, I know I'm way conservative. Because when I meet somebody that's more conservative than me, I'm like, oh man, they're way conservative. which isn't often. We have to stop seeing everything just through our lens. We have to understand Mandami thinks he's doing what's right as much as we think we're doing what's right. That that's the gotcha moment here. He's going by his religion to do it. The problem is his religion doesn't work with Western values because they're based on Christianity. The only way to make his religion work is to change our value system. It's that simple. He's doing what's right per his religion. And that's lying to the infidel, killing the infidel, enslaving the infidel. But if they can use us to serve them and to make money to pay taxes to their means, then they will. It's not fun to say. It's not fun to think. That's just, he thinks he's doing what's right. And, what was it? I saw a statistic yesterday 83% of people that voted for Mandami lived in New York less than 5 years or less. I don't know if that's right, but that's wild if it is. It's wild if it is. CNBC.com, well, article pull up. CNBC.com prediction market traders slash odds. Trump tariffs survive the Supreme Court ruling. They're pretty hard on some of the Trump people yesterday at the Supreme Court. I would say there were mixed messages. A lot of it didn't look good for the Trump administration, but I don't know. I'm not a court expert. I'm not an economic expert. Uh, However, I think these tariffs are helping. You can see, what was it we reported yesterday that Caroline Levitt said $600 billion of our debt has been paid down due to tariffs. Um, Tariffs are currently paying for a lot of the no, WIC benefits for people as the government shut down. It's a tool. If you take away the tool, then it makes it harder to do the job. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I know you are as well. We just have to stay on. All right. Do you guys follow James O'Keefe? You should. If you don't, was of Project Veritas. He's the guy who always gets these hidden cameras and somehow gets these people to say everything they're thinking. Well, let's talk about this. Why do these people talk so openly to James O'Keefe? And this is from his post. Well, I'm referencing his post on X.com. But why do they talk to people that work for him? Well, it's always some. It's not always. Like I said yesterday, sex. Well, I alluded to this. Sex is the oldest profession there is, or one of them, right? And the tools of sex are also the same. The manipulation of sex is a great tool on everyone. If you say it's not, you're wrong. I mean, it just is what it is. Sex is used for and against people all the time, all around the world, and has throughout history. So why are these people always caught on camera? Let me tell you this: if you're in a position that knows something that somebody would want to know, and you've never really been that popular, or you've never really, even if you're gay, right, and you've never had the the attention you want sexually from whoever you want it from, and all of the sudden you're getting a lot, and these people want to go on dates with you, and uh, even if they're not recording you, they're using you. Okay, now if you know that and you're okay with it, then set yourself up, let that happen. But there's using happen. It's the way the world's always worked. It's the way the world still works. So for these people in these positions, and this person will be the California Democrat Party insider, um, Ross Pike. He's a regional director for the California Democrat Party. They get trapped in, okay, I'm getting attention. This is somebody that, and I don't know. I hadn't been recorded like this. If I get to, I'll be like, dang it, you got me. Man, it's as old as Samson, right? Delilah, tell me what makes you so strong. Tell me. Well, Delilah, she was using what she had about her to get those answers. Anyway, Ross Pike, the regional director for the California Democratic Party, details how Prop 50 funds could be directed to support Gavin Newsom's future campaign, potentially violating the state campaign finance law. He says, yes, we're very intentionally gerrymandering, or as Denny Burdine told us, gerrymandering. Gavin Newsom, doesn't have any committees open right now. That doesn't mean he can't open a committee later and transfer the money. Newsom, is trying to appeal and make it look like he's not so left. That's from their. These people tell us every day exactly what they're doing. I don't know why we won't just believe them. But back to my point. If you've never gotten the attention that you wanted or desired sexually, and all of a sudden you start getting that, be aware. There's a reason. You're being played for something in some way. And once again, if you're a willing participant in that and you understand that, fair enough. Get your cookie. But if not, also be aware you're being used. All right. It's just amazing it keeps happening to me. Not to me. It is amazing to me that it keeps happening. Yeah, I mean, never mind. I almost went down a deep rocket hole. Like, throw it at me if you want to, but I'm probably not going to take it. All right. This is from IFLscience.com. The interstellar object 3I Atlas changed color again and shows signs of non-gravitational acceleration. Have you guys seen all this? They're making a big deal about this. Is it a spaceship? Is it a meteor? Is it all these things? Side note, there was a meteor shower last night, and I was able to go out and watch a few of them. Just sat in my yard, in my lawn chair, feet in the ground, till I got cold. I might be the least concerned with this 3I Atlas. I just don't care. It's not a big deal to me. Of course, I am of the opinion that the reason the aliens and one are there, you call them what you want to. Ephesians is very clear that we're in a battle not just against flesh and blood, but against principalities uh, outside of this world, which I would say are, there's a spiritual battle of angels and demons around us all the time. Usually we can't see them. Sometimes we can. Sometimes I think that could be perceived as alien. I know this might be a little off the reservation for some of you. Bear with me. On that same note, all of this talk, if you truly believe that we're getting towards the end of time, if you truly believe that at some point this all wraps up, Jesus comes back, wins the war, and all of those such things, then the devil knows it too. So what a better way to convince everyone that you know none of that's real than just say, "Hey, these are just aliens." Start declassifying stuff. Start giving them something else to think. I don't know. I understand. Like I said, it might be off the reservation for some of you. Um, there's something there. I won't know till I die, probably. Then I'll be like, aha, I was right. Or aha, I was wrong. All right, let's go to this. 84% of women 18 to 29 voted for Zoran Mandami. It's the most skewed group. However, 65% of women 30 to 44 voted for Zoran Mandami. I know 68% of men 18 to 29 voted for Zoran Mandami, and 66% of men. So you could safely say 66% of men 18 to 44 voted for Mandami. It's it's what's been allowed in our schools. That's what we're seeing. Now I know yesterday I said white women were the largest problem to the voting bloc, and I still stand by that. I know. Crazy thoughts. It's what's been allowed. It's what's been taught. It's all coming true. It's like there was a plan that we were told of 100 years ago, and it's happening. So again, they tell us what they're going to do all the time. No one wants to believe it. MAGA Voice on X.com. MAGA Voice breaking. Donald Trump just said we stand ready, willing, and able to save our Christian population around the world. Let's start with it here. I'm good for this. We don't need to be seen as going on the next crusade, which it will turn into. Christians are murdered all around the world every day. At our church, we've had the opportunity to meet, you know, pastors in the underground church all around the world, and sometimes they come here and they speak. And one guy had all his teeth, toenails, and fingernails ripped out and was put in prison. I think he was shot, but I can't. I don't want to say that because I don't want to add to something that isn't true. But he still stands for Jesus. Once again, when somebody tells you Jesus won't put on you more than you can bear, this guy had his fingernails, toenails, teeth pulled out. That's a lot. Anyway, Christians are under attack around the world. We know it will be. The Bible's very clear on that. Everything isn't peaches and rainbows all the time. We should find our peace in the Lord. And here's this from Cardinal Robert Sarah. This is on open source intel on X.com. As a bishop, it is my duty to warn the West that the barbarians are already inside the city. Remember that line in Ezekiel says, when the watchers of the gate, the blood will be required from them if they don't do their job? That's what's coming. And maybe it's spiritually, right? Maybe it's electorally. At some point, people are going to have to stand up and say, whoa, 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 we've messed up. This isn't good. It's a wild, wild deal. And this from CJ Pearson. New Jersey is a blue state. Virginia is a blue state. Oh, and I think I talked about this yesterday. Yeah. And once again, we know this. We shouldn't, this shouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised about this. I'm not dismayed by it. Don't fall for the media hype, everybody. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get on with my day. I hope you all have a great day. I hope God blesses each and every one of you today. And we'll be back. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Thanks for listening.